from dangerous places all over the world. And thanks to Biden's open door policies, today there are millions and millions of these illegals who should not be in our country.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a major news story that's got the world talking. President Donald Trump's new travel ban, signed on June 4th, 2025, which bans travel from 12 countries and places restrictions on 7 others. This policy is a revival of his controversial first-term travel ban, and it's sparking heated debates about national security, immigration, and global relations. So, what's going on? Why these countries? And what does it mean for the US and beyond? Let's break it all down. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and let's get started. We're analyzing 2 key sources today, an AP News article and a White House proclamation, both published on June 5th, 2025. These give us the official details and context behind this policy. Stick around as we unpack the countries involved, the reasons given, and the bigger picture. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. So, let's start with the basics. On June 4th, 2025, President Trump signed a proclamation under Executive Order 14,161 titled Protecting the United States from Foreign Terrorists and Other National Security and Public Safety Threats. This policy, effective June 9th, 2025, completely bans travel from 12 countries and imposes partial restrictions on 7 others. The White House says this is all about protecting the U.S. from terrorism and national security risks, pointing to issues like inadequate vetting processes in these countries. The 12 countries facing a full travel ban are Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. If you're a citizen of any of these nations, you're barred from entering the U.S., whether as an immigrant or non-immigrant, starting Monday, June 9th, 2025. Now, some of these countries like Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen were part of Trump's first-term travel ban, which the Supreme Court upheld in 2018. But others, like Haiti and Equatorial Guinea, are new additions, which has raised some eyebrows. Trump has defended this move, saying, and I'm paraphrasing, that the U.S. can't allow people who might harm the country to enter. He even referenced a recent firearm attack in Boulder, Colorado, by an Egyptian man who overstayed his visa, though, interestingly, Egypt isn't on the banned list. The proclamation argues that these 12 countries lack competent or cooperative governments, have weak vetting processes, or are hotspots for terrorist activity. For example, Yemen is described as lacking control over its territory and being a site of active U.S. military operations since January 2025. Now, let's talk about the 7 countries facing partial restrictions: Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. For these nations, the restrictions focus on specific visa types like B1 and B2 visas for business and tourism, as well as F, M, and J visas for students and exchange visitors. Consular officers are also directed to reduce the validity period of other non-immigrant visas for these countries. Why these restrictions? The White House points to high visa overstay rates and inadequate information sharing by these governments. For instance, Burundi has a B1/B2 visa overstay rate of 15.35% and an FMJ visa overstay rate of 17.52%, according to the Department of Homeland Security's Overstay report. Sudan, one of the fully banned countries, has even higher rates, 26.3% for B1/B2 visas and 28.4% for FMJ visas. The administration argues that these numbers show a risk of people entering the U.S. and not leaving when their visas expire, which they see as a security concern. But it's not just about overstays. The proclamation emphasizes that these countries don't share enough information about their citizens, like criminal or terrorist records, which makes it hard for the U.S. to vet travelers properly. Somalia, for example, is called out for struggling to govern and limit movements, while also historically refusing to take back its deported nationals. This lack of cooperation is a big deal for the Trump administration, which wants to ensure that anyone entering the U.S. doesn't pose a threat. If this sounds familiar, it's because Trump's first-term travel ban, often called the Muslim ban by critics, caused massive controversy. Signed in January 2017, it targeted several Muslim-majority countries and led to chaos at airports, protests, and legal battles. After multiple revisions, the Supreme Court upheld a version of it in 2018, citing the president's authority under the Immigration and Nationality Act. Fast forward to 2025, and Trump's bringing it back, but this time it's broader, affecting 19 countries total, with 10 in Africa, many of which are majority black. Critics are already calling this discriminatory, pointing out that countries like Sierra Leone and Togo aren't known for major threats to the West. The inclusion of Afghanistan has also sparked backlash, especially from groups like Number Afghan Evac, who say it's a betrayal of Afghan allies who worked with the U.S. during the war. Sean Van Diver, president of Number Afghan Evac, called it a moral disgrace, noting that while special immigrant visas for certain Afghans are exempt, tens of thousands of others with pending cases are now blocked. On the flip side, supporters argue this is a necessary step to protect national security. Trump's proclamation cites the need to pressure foreign governments to cooperate with U.S. vetting processes and take back their deportees. The administration also points to the Boulder attack as a wake-up call, even though, again, Egypt isn't on the list. This raises questions. Are these countries being targeted for political reasons, or is this really about security? Let's dig deeper. So, what does this mean? For starters, travel disruptions. Citizens from these 19 countries will face major hurdles visiting or immigrating to the U.S. Families could be separated, students might lose access to U.S. universities, and businesses could struggle with international partnerships. There's also uncertainty about whether existing visas will be canceled, something the proclamation doesn't clarify, which is causing anxiety for visa holders already in the U.S. Globally, this could strain diplomatic relations. Experts like Zane Kirby from the American Society of Travel Advisors warn that blanket bans risk retaliation from targeted countries, making it harder for Americans to travel abroad. Plus, with 10 African nations on the list, there's concern about economic and cultural impacts on U.S.-Africa relations. And let's not forget, Trump's said the list could grow, so more countries might be added. This all stems from Executive Order 14,161, signed on January 20th, 2025. Which ordered a report within 60 days to identify high-risk countries. That report, delivered by March 21, 2025, led to this proclamation. The administration's also cracking down on visa overstays and even targeting universities like Harvard, with a separate order questioning their hosting of foreign students. It's a broad immigration crackdown, and it's moving fast. So, there you have it. Trump's 2025 travel ban is a bold, controversial move that's reigniting debates from his first term. Is it a necessary shield against security threats, or a step too far that unfairly targets certain nations and communities? The truth likely lies in a gray area, and it's up to us to keep asking questions. What do you think? Should the U.S. prioritize security over open borders, or is this policy doing more harm than good? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you found this breakdown helpful, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into the news that matters. Check out the links to the AP News article and White House proclamation in the description for the full details. And let me know, what topic should we cover next? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.